y'all, it's Siobhan Muir. Okay, happy holidays. I hope your holiday season is going very well and it's full of joy and calm energy. Because no matter what you do or how much of it you do, it's gonna work out great and everyone's gonna have a good time. So today I'm gonna do an easy recipe. And easy means like it's a very common American recipe. It's a common American treat. It's called brownies, right? But this recipe is called Merry Brownies. So there's, the holiday themed. But the idea here is it's just brownies. Now, what I read about this one, because I've never made this recipe before, is very easy to make, a wonderful treat which children can easily help prepare. And not to mention, these chewy brownies stay moist for days, unlike some brownies which often get hard. And I've recognized that where I've made some brownies and then within like 2 or 3 days, they're like, crunchy. You're like, okay, not quite what I wanted.
The crunch.
Yeah.
It's the crunch that counts.
Not for brownies. So the other thing that's different about these is I'm going to make them gluten-free and I'm going to use a little less sugar. Now, again, a lot of my recipes tend to trend toward European cooking, not only because of my husband, who, he's a Hungarian, but because we've noticed that a lot of these treats can actually taste a lot better the less sugar you put in. So, here's what you need. You need 1 cup or 2 sticks of butter, 12 tablespoons or 3/4 of a cup of cocoa powder. Okay? You need 1 cup of firmly packed brown sugar, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 2 to 4 eggs. I'm gonna do 3 this time because they said each added egg makes the brownies richer but also higher in calories and fat. It's a brownie. It's gonna be high in calories and fat.
Yeah, I've never heard of a low-calorie brownie.
And if you have, it probably tastes like sawdust. So then you'll need 1.5 cups of all-purpose gluten-free flour. And optional is chopped walnuts or pecans. This recipe says kids don't usually like nuts. I don't know if that's entirely true, but sometimes people just want the cake. They don't necessarily want the crunch. So if you're really into adding nuts, please feel free to do a 1/2 cup of chopped nuts. Otherwise, we're gonna do it without. And then you'll use a 1/2 cup of powdered sugar at the end on top, but you don't need that quite yet, so don't worry about it. So the first thing they say is grease a 9.5 13-inch glass pan, and then preheat oven to 325.
Okay.
We could do that now because it takes about 10 minutes to heat up, but I have no idea how long this is going to take. So do you want to preheat it now?
Yeah.
All right. So, and 325 is probably about,
I'll keep it there.
115 degrees Celsius?
Ooh, yeah, probably.
Something like that. You'll have to do the conversion. Sorry, I wasn't prepared. But, in any case, this says it makes 16 to 24 squares. But we're not gonna do that. We're gonna do something special. So, it says, all right, melt butter in a small pan over low heat, then sift in cocoa and whisk until smooth. If you don't have an antique sifter, you can always pour the powder in there and just sift through there. That's an easy way to, if you don't have a sifter, just use a strainer and it'll work the same way. All right, so then once it's melted, we are going to sift in, here.
This will be fun.
Sift in.
Okay.
That wasn't quite the way you wanted to do that, was it?
No, it wasn't. I can happily say most of it was sifted.
Well, fortunately for you, there was extra. Meaning and then you whisk it together until fully combined.
hindsight, I could have executed that just a little better, but I was just like, and it all came out now. Okay.
It did. It totally all came out now. Very exciting. Very exciting.
What a development. That's what it is. It's a development.
It is a development. All right. So you combine this until it's smooth. And I think the recipe says then pull it off the heat and let cool. Is that what it says?
Pour into a large mixing bowl, let cool.
Okay.
And now we let cool.
All right. So once it cools down a little bit, and because you know it was getting ready to kind of like simmer. Once it cools down a little bit, you're going to add the sugar and the vanilla extract, which we need 2 teaspoons.
That is a lot of vanilla. Wow.
Yes, 2 teaspoons is a lot of vanilla. It looks like a large chunk of sugar.
It's like an island almost. I love that.
All right, 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And it says, mix well. Lightly whisk the eggs and then add to batter and stir to blend. So go beat those eggs. We decided to use 3 instead of 4, or instead of 2, figuring that that'll help with not only the binding, but just kind of to plump things up. But, ooh, it looks kind of like, actually it reminds me of poppy seed stuff in terms of the texture. Just making sure there are no lumps in here. Lightly whisk the eggs, then add to batter and stir to blend. Add in flour and stir until combined. Until just blended. Because it was really funny. It says stir until combined. Brownies should be stirred by hand until just blended. Well, combined and just blended are 2 different suggestions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the flour and then I'm going to stir until mostly combined. Not completely and not just blended, but mostly combined. Like a middle ground. Good job.
Lightly?
That is lightly.
All
Good
right.
job.
The eggs have been lightly killed.
Lightly blended.
The eggs are already dead, but whatever.
All right. Okay, so then you add these and stir until well combined, I think. This one wants it well combined. Oh, you can see it start to thicken.
Yep.
And that's just from the egg.
It's interacting with the xanthan gum.
No, there's nothing in there yet.
No, you're right.
It is interacting with the butter. And the sugar. All right. So now you have a kind of a thick, almost frosting-like batter. And then you add the flour, which is 1.5 cups of flour.
What's with the bubbles?
Well, mixing, when you beat something, it adds air.
Okay.
Always stir slowly when you've added flour to something, so that it's incorporated, and 2, it doesn't poof.
The giant poof is fun.
make sure the flour, even though it says just combined, make sure that there isn't any white showing. Because if you still have any white flour left over, it won't necessarily be cooked. Like about that. Okay. Add nuts if desired. We're not doing that. And spoon into the baking dish. We will be spooning it. So, that was a sugar bomb. Woo! I'm like going, what is that hard piece in there? That would be a sugar bomb. All right.
Sugar rubber. Ouch.
Where's the spatula?
What? Oh, that's an excellent question.
How about a new one?
I think that's an excellent idea. I set things down. Okay. I'm tired, okay?
You are tired.
Great.
You see that? It's the holiday rush.
Yeah.
It is the holiday rush.
Oh,
Hold that, please.
I will, and I won't do anything with it.
Nope.
It's gonna stand right here.
Right there would be good. Now, what it doesn't say is you're going to need to spread this because no one's going to want to eat brownies like this.
What?
So, the nice thing is the butter makes it very easy to spread, but it doesn't stick to your tool.
These are gonna be the world's coolest brownies. I've never seen brownies spread like this.
No?
No.
And even better, they're gluten-free.
And that's the thing. I don't think I've ever seen gluten-free anything spread like this.
Part of this is the eggs, but the way it spreads like this is the butter. Because if you think about it, butter is basically natural oil, right?
Oh, right, yeah, but
Looks pretty good. Okay, so then what you do is you bake for 30 to 40 minutes until the middle springs back when lightly pressed and the edges start to pull away from the sides. Let cool and then sift powdered sugar over the top. And then we're going to do the fun part. So, in about 30 to 40 minutes, depending, we'll be back after we put this in the oven and see how it turns out. What happens when you take this out, what you're supposed to look for is when you press it, because it's hot, I'm using this. When you press it, it should bounce back with a little pressure. And it does. Let cool, then sift powdered sugar on top and cut into squares. So we're gonna let it cool for a little while and then we're gonna do something fun. But for the most part, this is what it should look like, and you let it cool and then you just cut it into, you know, how many squares you'd like. It smells really good. It smells really good.
I can smell it from here.
Yeah, but it should be springy, and it is. Ooh. All right, so we're gonna let it cool, and then we'll be back to show you what we do after that. They came out of the, yeah, I wouldn't make them any sweeter.
Mm-mm.
No, I think that's good. So they came out of the pan really easy. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use cookie cutters to make fun brownie shapes. The reason to do this is so that they make them easily served to children. Because, well, anybody likes fun shapes, but if you're doing this for kids, it's even better. So we have a few cookie cutters. We have a tree and a snowflake and a heart. And we thought we'd do Santa's boot because these are pretty simple. They're not highly detailed. And so they should make decent shapes because brownie dough is not cookie dough. So, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay. Now this means you are going to have extra pieces that just have to be eaten.
Darn, what will we do?
Mm-hmm. You're gonna need a bigger plate.
Yeah, but I was doing this for like decoration purposes.
I don't know, this one might be too detailed. What do you think?
That one, right there.
Gently.
Ha!
Not too bad. Well, we got part of a tree.
Hey, it still looks like a tree.
The boot's getting apart though.
All right. That's really what the shapes look like, so.
That is really what the shapes look like. So then, not that you wouldn't do this halfway. You'd make a whole bunch of shapes, or you could just at this point you can go, yeah, those aren't working great, and you can make you can make squares. Merry holiday brownies, gluten-free no less.
And yummy. In case y'all were wondering.
I think you can get away with doing these for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I think these ended up a little dry. So I think if you're doing the gluten-free flour, I think you could end up doing it for only 30 minutes. So yeah. Now granted, you know, oops. You have pieces left over. Darn. I think that's good. All right. So, merry holiday brownies. We're gonna carve these up later, but that's the extent of the recipe. It's pretty easy. I think I would cook it a little less because they're a little on the dry side for these. I think we could get away with doing them a little less. But thank you for joining us. Definitely ring the bell to find out when there's new videos. Like and comment on this video. Subscribe to the channel so that you know when we do more of this. Have a very happy holiday season. Whatever holiday you celebrate, may it be joyous and full of love and connection. And yeah, happy making, happy baking, happy eating, and happy reading. Happy holidays!